Again, if you start right with the cigar, you ensure a better, cleaner burn, which is very important to the integrity of the cigar and obviously to make it more enjoyable. One thing to keep in mind is, as beginners ask, when do I ash the cigar? The one thing I would tell you is, let an ash build a little bit. It's a handmade product. So unlike a cigarette where people are constantly tapping into an ashtray, you don't want to do that with a premium cigar. It will hold an ash. And honestly, it's a testament to the craftsmanship of the cigar maker. As you're smoking a cigar, you see the ash maybe fracture a little bit, you can give it a quick tap and then relight the whole process. Toast it again, bring it to your mouth, make sure it's evenly lit.
Instantly, how can you make a cigar taste better? By doing nothing other than taking a drag of your cigar, we're gonna retrohale today. What the heck am I talking about? On our tongue, there's only 4 different flavors that we can witness, right? We have bitter, spicy, sweet, and what's the 4th one? I always mix this one up. I'm gonna try that again. Bitter, spicy, sweet, and sour. But through the nose, there's 1,000 different scents that I can smell, right? So we're gonna learn how to retrohale. It takes some practice. Get yourself a mild cigar and start practicing how to retrohale. But I'm gonna give you guys a little illustration. So what I'm gonna do is take a good puff. You guys understand that? I'm gonna take a good puff. Now, I didn't inhale the cigar. What I did is I took a puff, take a breath through my nose, and then exhale. And what I'm doing is I'm opening up my nasal cavity, so therefore I can exhale through my nose, and that's called retrohale. And you're gonna get all this tingling sensation. It's gonna be amazing. You're gonna feel a lot of different flavors. You're gonna be like, wow, I never knew those flavors existed. So that is exactly how you can change or taste your cigar better instantly. That is the key.
Also, the other thing to keep in mind is it's a premium cigar. It's not meant to be inhaled. So unlike cigarettes, a premium cigar is meant to be savored. You know, it's not meant to be brought into your lungs. You'll see people sometimes what they call bridging it or bringing it into their nose. I wouldn't advocate it right off the bat trying to do it, but it's something over time you can learn to do. So bridging a cigar, if you could practice it at home, and again, I don't advocate it right off the bat, just press your tongue to the roof of your mouth as you bring the cigar smoke in, and then blow it through your nose. That's the most you want to inhale it. Again, keep it in mind, no inhaling premium cigars.
If you're like me, you've enjoyed the rich experience of a cigar journey, trying many different blends, many combinations of tobaccos, finding which ones that are your exact favorites. When it comes to that experience, it can be attributed to the construction of the cigar, the smoke output, but most importantly, I think we could all agree, the flavor of the cigar. Flavor is key. In so many different companies we work with, blenders we work with, it's always flavor first. The only way to take notice of flavor notes. No, it is not. Within your nasal cavity, there are far more receptacles, tasting receptacles that pick up flavor. We've all experienced perhaps when you're walking down an alleyway or on the street and there's a very unpleasant odor and you almost take in that flavor and taste it almost by your nasal cavity registering that flavor. The same thing happens with smoke. You can experience all those flavors on your palate, but when you retrohale through your nose, then you can pick up more notes. And so what normally is best to do is only let out the last 10%. You're bringing the smoke into your palate, you're tasting it, letting it exhale, and then the last like 5 or 10%, you close your mouth and push the smoke through your nose to retrohale. Something like this. That last bit enriches that cocoa, that espresso, a little bit of mesquite wood. There's a bit of char on there as well. Different notes that are more pronounced through that. But again, you let that small amount out through the retrohale. And that just enhances it all. Perhaps it might be difficult to master at first. So a good example sometimes is if you're perhaps, let's say, swimming in the ocean, diving deep under the waves, and you're trying to hold your breath. Sometimes people, instead of plugging their nose, will blow out their nose to keep that air from entering in. And it's a prime example as well what you're gonna do with the smoke. You're blowing that smoke out through. There's just a little bit of residual left on your palate and you push that through your nose to experience that flavor, to also have it exit through that pathway. You experience a little bit of that spiciness, that cocoa-y and that sweetness. I'm sure if you experiment with it a little bit, you'll find a few techniques that really help you. Drop down in the comments. If you have been retrohaling, what was an easy way for you to learn in the beginning? Or if you don't retrohale, what are those reasons and why not? Now, while I don't recommend to retrohale every single puff, I will say, I think you're missing out on quite a bit of flavor if you don't at least try this and experience it for yourself. As always, thank you.